Hello everybody, I am Jedi Giant Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today we are going to be looking at set number 75367, the UCS Venator-class Republic Attack Cruiser. This set includes 5,374 pieces for the price of $650 when it released on October 1st of 2023, at least for LEGO VIP members, regular release on October the 4th. Long have I waited for this to become a LEGO set again, and it's just such a beautiful set. The box art does not do this thing justice whatsoever. I mean, even just the regular black box art for 18+ sets doesn't do anything to sell this set. This is for sure something you're going to want to see in person. I mean, walking up to the LEGO store and seeing this on display, such a beautiful model. I really cannot wait to get started on this tonight. It's going to be such a fun build process, especially rewatching a lot of those prequel films and rewatching the Clone Wars a bit while I build it. Speaking of the box art, you get your greebling for 18+ at the very bottom, faint blue light, black box art for 18+, customized logo, which they actually got the logo right here, which is funny to say, I guess. Another thing I have to appreciate about this box is how you get different angles of the build from different sides. Like, we get a bottom view from the very bottom where the barcode is, we get a top view slightly from the very top, and you also get front and back views from the sides, which unfortunately one of the sides of my box is actually taped incorrectly. I'll show that. I'll show a picture on screen now of what that looks like anyways. But still, for the money that you're spending, you're getting a really big, heavy box, big enough that they even had to give you a special bag in order to carry this behemoth of a set. So without further ado, let's open this up and take a look at the box contents. When first opening up the box, you'll find a box within the box, which I always love when LEGO does this, and especially when they do something where they do special printing on it like you'll see here. Let's take these out and take a look at them. No numbered bags quite yet, but 2 numbered boxes, which also feature this really cool art from the sides, which aren't taken from the Clone Wars, but are taken from Revenge of the Sith, which I honestly don't mind. Really cool to see that they did go all out by including special art on these boxes. They did not need to do that. Opening up both of the boxes, I did want to note that box 1 has the first half of the set and box 2 has the second half of the set, so you don't have to open both boxes at the same time unless you really want to, like I did here. You get a total of 48 numbered bags, 1 bag per number. You also get 2 unnumbered bags, which feature some of the larger pieces, mostly used for the engines, as well as your printed display plaque, which is really great that it's printed at long last. We've been waiting so long for them to do that. And you'll also get 2 folders, which will be split between the 2 boxes, which will feature your stickers and instruction manuals. This set includes a total of 4 instruction booklets. This is so then if you want to build with other people, you can do so, but I'm going to be building this by myself. Another really cool thing that they're doing here with the instructions is that they're actually forming a larger picture of the Venator with 2 of them, and I think that's really neat. It's something that I think they should start doing with other direct-to-consumers. I think it would just make the instructions a lot more interesting, especially nowadays if they are giving you so many instruction booklets for one giant set. At least we aren't getting a sticker for the display plaque, but we do happen to get stickers that'll go on the ship build itself for these giant fleet logos for the ship, as well as just some other smaller details, which honestly, do we really even need these? I mean, this is definitely what we need. At the end of the day, the ship's still gonna look really, really impressive. Getting up close and personal from the front of the first one, you'll find your regular spiel about paper bags that are non-existent, LEGO VIP or LEGO Insiders. And here is where the fun begins. We have some information about this set from the designer. Clone Wars turns 20. Get a nice big picture of the Venator there. And you get it in a few different languages. I honestly never imagined that we would ever see a Clone Wars related direct-to-consumer outside of what we got back in like 2009. I think that was like the dropship. That was considered direct-to-consumer, I believe. It's really crazy to see that this even has like pictures from the Clone Wars in it. If you want to pause and read this stuff, you can do so. picture of the model designer, as well as the lead designer behind LEGO Star Wars there, with our big build for the Venator. And a little bit of information about that. It's not that difficult to pick this set up. Please don't do this. That's dumb. Pick it up from underneath. Be a smart person. The other three don't really have too much to shout about. Get the Star Wars logo from the back of all of them. Win information for 18+, and your piece count for quite a few pages here. It goes on and on. This set includes 2 brand new and exclusive minifigures who you'll find in the very last bag of the set alongside the display plate. Now I do want to preference right away that the minifigures in this set is definitely not the reason why you should be buying this. If you're buying this set, you're buying it for the build of the Venator, which is so amazing. But really, if you're buying this set for the minifigures, you're completely missing the point. No doubt Captain Rex will appear in a cheaper set next year in 2024. As for our other minifigure though, of Admiral Yularin, who we're getting for the second time ever, this is the first time that we're getting his younger appearance. The last time that we saw him was his Imperial version, which was pretty cool as a polybag during May the 4th. Though I do have to say right off the bat, getting the man who you see the most standing around up in the bridge during the Clone Wars TV show is definitely a perk of this set. It's a character that I don't think they would have been able to fit in another set. I mean, maybe even like a polybag they could have put him in there, but still, I think this is really truly the one figure in this set that fits perfectly and is one that I think fans may not complain about if they don't get him in another set. You get a brand new torso print as well as a double-sided facial expression, which are really great for this figure. You even get dual molded legs to represent the boots. Get the black hands for some gloves. Quick look at the back printing there, just completing the outfit all together. This is really the definition of the perfect best figure that they ever could have put in this set. Looking at that facial expression, you get a slight calm look from the front side, and from the back something a little bit more serious with his mouth open showing his teeth. Hairpiece I think is fine. It works fine for his character. I mean, it gets the point across. You know who this is if you've watched the show. Now, the figure with the most mixed opinions in this set is going to be Phase 2 clone Captain Rex, which I think is such a wonderful figure. It's a character that we haven't seen since 2013, so, I mean, LEGO's giving fans what they wanted. They wanted a Captain Rex minifigure, and here he is. Now, I'm gonna repeat what I said earlier on. If you're buying this set for Captain Rex, you're buying this set for the wrong reason. You should be buying it for the vehicle, not for the minifigure, because the minifigures are going to appear again, and no doubt LEGO knows that Captain Rex is going to be a popular character. He even showed up, well, briefly, within the Disney Plus Ahsoka show, so no doubt Disney wants to push this character as well. I mean, I really don't know what kind of influence they have over LEGO when it comes to what they choose to design. I'm pretty sure they always get the final say, but we'll see what happens next year. I have no doubt in my mind that we'll end up seeing Captain Rex again. Whether or not it's the same version, I mean, really the only things that I see probably disappearing from another Captain Rex minifigure, if we were to get another one next year in 2024, would be this headpiece. I would think that they'd probably just give us the regular old clone headpiece because it's gonna look the same. Really, the one thing that makes this clone face special is just the facial expression, as well as getting that little bandage up there to represent when he got his inhibitor chip removed. One of the big talking points when it comes to this figure's design, as well as many other clones that we've gotten from LEGO recently, are helmet holes, which I did talk a whole lot about them within my 330-second battle pack review, so I'll link that in the card above. Just if you want to hear me talk more about helmet holes, I'm not going to say anything other than, I mean, they should certainly have decided to make something new instead of just reusing what they made back in 2008, because for sure I think they could have made something that would work and make it look less awkward than it does. Personally, the helmet holes do not bother me whatsoever. I've gotten used to them at this point. You know, they're fine. I don't care for them. We get helmet holes on the Phase 1 clones all the time. It's just gotten to the point where it's something that they're gonna keep doing just because it works with these other accessory pieces that they made in the past. And then the other thing that I've seen a lot of people complaining about is the lack of a comma or waist cape for this character, which they do print it from the front of the legs, which I do not think is enough. I certainly think if they're going to print them on the front of the legs, they should also print them from the side of the legs, but at that point, it gets so awkward that, you know, just the plain white from the back side of the character, it just does not really make sense that they can't include something like that. I know that LEGO put out a statement saying why Captain Rex does not include one of those. It's because they want to keep the character consistent with the other clones that they're putting out, and because of, again, just kids not being able to put on those pieces, despite the fact that they did even make a special piece for it, a hard plastic all the way back in 2008, which I think looks really great on this figure. I mean, why not bring that piece back and add it to the other accessories that we've been getting with these clone minifigures? I don't know why that piece somehow disappeared when it came to that accessory pack, but seriously, this is just a really wonderful minifigure in my opinion, just with one small problem, and that is the lack of the waist cape. That's really the only thing that I have to complain about when it comes to this figure. Helmet holes, I don't care. Waist cape is really the only thing that makes this figure a problem, because otherwise, just look at those arm prints. Tell me those don't look good on this figure, I dare you. And they're also different from both sides, which is just another thing that I think is amazing about this figure, the attention to detail as far as just giving us different prints for both of the arms. Yeah, I know there may not be the correct amount of markings on his helmet and such, but I mean, LEGO did what they could, and also the helmet print just looks so much better than what they did back in 2013. Just, I think it looks so much cleaner. That's what I have to say about it. It looks so much cleaner. It's a perfect figure all around, you know, down to even giving us a brand new exclusive facial expression, brand new print for the helmet, brand new print for the torso and arms, and brand new print for the legs. Again, just really my only problem being the lack of the waist cape there. Before we look at the giant ship, I did want to talk about our display plate, which has this giant running 2x system where you can place your characters on one end, and you can place your printed 20 Years of Clone Wars brick on the other end. And right there in the middle, you get your Venator-class Star Destroyer plaque, which includes all the juicy details about the Venator there, which I haven't checked to see if any of this stuff is incorrect, but really nice that they include this and that it's printed and not a sticker, unlike sets that we've gotten from Star Wars in the past. Other UCS sets, they used to be stickers, now they're prints. This is the second set, I believe, to include a printed version of this, or it might be the third, I don't know. They get the hinge connection from the back just to get the angling, and I just have to appreciate it being a print. Really amazing that it's a print. Same thing goes for this, which I also have to note that I am really just disappointed in LEGO not putting this in a diorama or any other type of set to celebrate 20 years of Clone Wars. I mean, really, they made this for this set, but they should have used it somewhere else as well. I think that would have been really cool. I know it's not 20 years of the 2008 Clone Wars as much as LEGO's trying to convince you of that. It's actually 15 years of that one. 20 years is being celebrated about the 2003 two-part animation, which I've only seen half of. I mean, seriously, we could have gotten a diorama set with shirtless Kit Fisto. That would have been a perfect way to reintroduce that head mold and just to give us that character again. I think it's long overdue to see some of these other Jedi minifigures like Plo Koon and such. Really, this year could have been the year for that. I mean, maybe we're waiting for 25 years of Attack of the Clones, who knows. LEGO does truly work in mysterious ways, and we do have some rather questionable figures that are going to be coming in sets next year in 2024 to celebrate 25 years of just LEGO Star Wars in general, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But, you know, still, I just think that if you're buying this set, you should not be buying it for the minifigures, because we're going to get Captain Rex next year, hopefully. Minifigures they do include are wonderful inclusions, both exclusive, lovely prints, so amazing, but that doesn't stop me from questioning what other things we could have gotten to celebrate this 20-year milestone of the Clone Wars. From the very start, we're working with a lot of Technic to form the skeleton of the ship. We then mostly work from the back side where the bridge is, and then work our way up to the very front of the build. With the bridge complete, we then begin on the panels, which can be seen from the bottom side of the build, as well as the side greebling. Before forming the top panels, we then create the engines, as well as the side panels representing the hangar bays. The top panels then close out the entire model, topped with the fake red doors down the center, and then there's the very tip, which also helps hold all the panels together. Now, while I'm discussing the build process, I wanted to highlight this clip from LegoCon last year.
Whenever we manage to include a pink brick in one of our sets, we get cake.
Oh, we got the pink cake.
So if you ever see a pink brick in a LEGO Star Wars set, just know we had cake.
This is the first LEGO Star Wars set to include one of those pink 2x4 bricks. Now, will we see any more sets with them in the future? Who's to say? Maybe it's so then they feel better when designing a prequel era set? I don't know. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to the design of this set is the fact that this is based off the version of the Venator that you see within the Clone Wars animated TV show, not the version that you see in Revenge of the Sith. Now, there are two parts of this build which tell this right away that it's a Clone Wars Venator, and one of which being the placement of those fleet logos, which are unfortunately stickered. I mean, there really isn't anything you can do. The stickers, the color of them doesn't match the brick. It's annoying. Really, LEGO should have just printed these pieces, or more so just print those fleet logos and completely disregard all the other stickers, because honestly I don't think they're necessary. But speaking of the placement of these logos, you can see that they're placed a lot further up than they are when it comes to the Venator that you see in Revenge of the Sith. I've seen some people comment on their placement being a little bit too close to the edge of the build, though personally I think they're fine. As far as looking at the reference material for those ships, I think they're in a perfect spot. And then the other dead giveaway about this ship being based off the Clone Wars TV show is the bridge being colored in that darker red compared to the dark gray or light gray that you would see within Revenge of the Sith. Speaking of the bridge area, I do really like that LEGO included these translucent blue pieces to represent the windshields of the bridge. Again, your minifigures would not be able to actually fit in here. It's just at such a very small scale. If LEGO was to ever make this vehicle minifigure scale, it would be very ridiculous. But as a whole, just the different types of building techniques used to capture a lot of the angles for the neck of the bridge area, I think LEGO did a really wonderful job. For sure, one of my favorite parts of this particular set. Sliding down the side of the wing, you'll see that we get our 4 laser turrets, which you'll also see appear from the other side of the build. These you can turn slightly because they're on jumper plates. They are rather delicate, so I don't recommend turning them too much. You'll also see the dark red for the Republic continue from the very side of the build, which does bring up the argument of tiled versus studded look for the side of the Venator. There's a lot of competition when it comes to this build. There's tiling off here, there's tiling off towards the center, and most of the tiling off that we see in this set is to create the dark red parts. If anything, I like it as a kind of contrast to the studs, this tiling off, though still, as you go down the side of the build, it's like, make up your mind. Do you want this to be tiled off or do you want it to be studded? The attention to detail is just absolutely amazing. I love how they include those tiny little cannons down here as well. And we can take a look at the greebling, where you'll see some more of that translucent blue just for like the windows, as if your characters can look out of the build. I also found the building techniques in this section really interesting. You can see the ball joint connections in order to get the anglings of these side greebling panels, and then we also have a stud connection behind all of this to fit in the little landing bay, which is super cute and adorable. You happen to get a Republic gunship. This is the second Republic gunship for 2023. Pretty simple design there, not too complex, I suppose. And I believe it is also supposed to represent the gunship that we got as a playset for this year, so I guess that's interesting, as we do get a lot more of the dark red from the front. Otherwise, I would think it would be white there. Cute, simple little design for gunship. Nothing special whatsoever. And then also from the other side, you'll be able to see one of the hangar doors completely closed up, which I think it's pretty cool that they include both a closed and a open version of that particular section. More pretend guns. I believe this is supposed to represent where they can launch the torpedoes, which is really cool. Those are sticking out from both sides of the build. Reaching the very front of the build, LEGO does have some clever building techniques which help bring everything all together, some different Technic connections in order to make sure that the ship is all connected, securing the top panels to the bottom panels. This then brings us to the very middle, where we have the doors to the Venator, where ships can come in and out, though unfortunately it doesn't actually function the way that it should. It's there for show, which is a little disappointing. I really wish that they could have made a feature where these could open up a little bit and then you can see like more of the landing bay in the middle with all the different ships. I think that would have been really cool, some microscale ships in there. Though unfortunately, I guess they couldn't do that. And again, to just try and keep this build as stable as possible, keeping to just the structure as well as the outside layout. Symmetry at its finest. We mirror the other side of the build. Again, I just have to mention the side hangar bay, which is closed compared to the other side that was open with the gunship. The back side of this vehicle is also extremely detailed. I love how they captured the engines from the very back and also using the gunmetal gray color. Some of these are going to be brand new recolors for those giant wheel pieces, as well as the medium wheel pieces, which you'll see at the very end of these larger ones. Translucent blue, I think, works very well across the board. One building technique in particular that I'm a rather big fan of is how they made these smaller engines right here and how they wrap it with one of those montage clip pieces, which has these clip pieces. I really like what they did to just create the look of that. It just turned out really well. I should also note that we do get all 8 of the engines, which you'd see from the back of the Venator, which is great that it has the accurate number. I'll say it again, the color scheme of the stickers doesn't match up with the piece. It's annoying. It is what it is. Should have been printed, should have been just completely removed. One thing I've seen some people concerned about when it comes to the design of the set are the engines sagging over time, which I certainly see this as an issue, as these are built rather loosely, and you can see as I'm moving it like that how loose these are, so definitely these are probably more to worry about than these, as they are also attached at a certain point here, in addition to being attached at the very base back there. At the end of the day, it's really something that you just gotta watch for, and you gotta be very careful where you place this set and make sure nothing falls on these engines, because no doubt that could also cause a problem with sagging. But as I said, not really an issue for the time here and now, just something you're gonna have to watch for as time moves on. Now you get 2 different builds for the stands, and they're both built into the vehicle. You can remove them. I'm pretty sure you can remove them from the build. It's just that you're going to have to do it while you're building the set. Just skip adding them if you don't want to have them on the bottom of your build, because it'll be a little bit more of a pain in the butt to remove them after you've finished building the set. I also really like, compared to the 2019 UCS Star Destroyer, how the stand doesn't completely connect from both sides on the bottom, and that your display plaque and your minifigures is completely separate, so if you want to display it alongside the ship, you can do so, or if you just want to remove it, you can do that as well. So overall, for $650, is this set worth it? Well, if you're a fan of the Clone Wars, this is for sure a set that you're going to want to add to your collection. I also have to say, again, I know I've said this so many times, and this is hopefully going to convince you, do not buy this set if you're buying it for Captain Rex. If you're only buying this for Captain Rex, you're crazy, because no doubt he's going to show up in another set sometime down the line. So if you want Captain Rex, buy another set, or just buy him individually off the aftermarket because he's still going to be like 30-40 bucks. Now, I'm not saying that the figures in this set are bad. They're really amazing. I really love getting both of them. Admiral Yularin is a perfect choice. Captain Rex, another character that we've been waiting so long for LEGO to remake. I'm really happy with this version. With the arm printing is just really amazing. Really, the lack of the waist cape is my only issue with that figure because otherwise it's absolutely perfect. But again, as I said, if you're buying the set just for that minifigure, you're buying the set for the wrong reason, because the reason why you should be buying the set is for the beautiful ship that you see in front of you. I never imagined that LEGO would make a UCS set out of this vehicle. It's just something that I didn't think it was something obtainable, because they don't really like to make larger scale prequel sets. Though maybe this set will change something, who knows. I don't really know how well this set is sold so far. I know that it was on back order on release day, and even that the promo that they made, as bad as it was, sold out with the set. But if you're looking for a fun build experience, a reason to rewatch the Clone Wars or the prequels even, I think this is a really beautiful display model. It's pretty accurate to the source material as far as accuracy goes. Really the only thing, other than a lack of an interior, that I see people complaining about are the use of stickers, and you know, again, that's just something that can't really be avoided when it comes to certain LEGO sets. It's an issue that LEGO really needs to work on fixing. The color of their stickers matching the color of their parts. I don't really know what happened, because they used to match pretty well, or at least back in the day I remember they were fine, or at least better than they were now, even though they kind of disintegrated after a time. But still, if you're a fan of the Clone Wars and you have 43 inches of space across, this is a perfect set for your collection. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on this set. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!